What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Back at you today with another DIY for any home mechanic out there. We're going to be performing routine maintenance on the 2017 Jeep Wrangler. Today's project is going to be an oil change. Let's first start with the items you're going to need for this project. You need a 13 millimeter either wrench or socket with ratchet for your oil pan. You need a 24 millimeter socket with an extension and a ratchet for the oil filter. Some sort of a pick to take the O-ring off of the oil filter housing. Your new oil filter, 6 quarts. This is a 3.6 liter. It calls for 6 quarts of 5W20 oil. We're using SuperTech today, and I like to keep a roll of shop towels on hand for easy cleanup. All right, let's take a look under the hood. There's 3 things here we're gonna need to access. One is the oil dipstick. We're gonna use that to check the fluid level after we're done performing the oil change. The other 2 items we need to remove this plastic cover for. This is just clips in place. Set that to the side. This is the oil filter housing. That's where we'll need that 24 millimeter socket to remove that and replace that filter. The other area we need to access is right here. This is the filler cap. This is where we're going to actually fill the oil after we drain the old oil. You'll see it's 5W20. We're going to go ahead and open that up. Just leave it loose. That kind of releases the vacuum on the engine so that when we take the drain plug out, it'll flow better. And I'm also going to go ahead and crack this open. Now we've got the filler cap loose. We've got the oil filter housing loose. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there for now until we're ready to change that filter. Let's go under the vehicle. This is the oil pan. This is your oil drain plug. This is where we're going to use that 13 millimeter either wrench or socket I mentioned earlier to break that loose to drain all the old oil. You'll want to have a oil drain pan ready. I like to put mine in a cardboard box as well, just to help prevent anything from getting on the driveway. So let's get that taken off. That one was on there pretty tight. Once you break it loose though, you should be able to turn it with your fingers. This oil is gonna be hot. This car's been driven and we're in Texas. Now we let it drain. While we wait on the oil to finish draining, we'll go ahead and take out the old oil filter. I like to have the new box on hand. So I'm gonna pull that out. It can go straight in the box. Clean up the mess I just spilled.
Whoopsie daisy!
Trash. We'll take that pick. And remove the O-ring. And we'll get this cleaned up with some rags. All right, now we've got our filter housing nice and cleaned up. There's a channel right here that the O-ring sets in. So your new filter will come with a new O-ring. Just work that around, and then you just want to make sure that it's not twisted. Should be on there straight with no twists. And we'll take a little bit of that new oil and just run a bead around that new O-ring so that it seats properly in the housing. New oil filter, they're just gonna snap in place. That's it. That's ready to install back in the vehicle. Filter housing back where it goes. We're just gonna Set it in there, give it a couple turns for now, and we'll tighten that all the way down after we ensure that all the oil has drained out of the pan and we've reinstalled the drain plug. All right, now all the oil is finished draining. We got a slow drip. We'll just wipe that up a little bit. We got a nice clean surface. I've already cleaned the drain plug. I'll go ahead and reinstall that. And you're tight. Let me give it another wipe here. And we'll use that 13mm socket. Tighten it down. If you've got a torque wrench, then now's the time you'll want to torque that down to your manufacturer's specification. Next thing you need to do is add your 6 quarts of oil using some kind of a funnel. You can see I'm using a water bottle today as I've misplaced my funnel, but this should work. So the big jug is 5 quarts. And we've got 1 more quart here to get us to our 6 quarts. Move the funnel. Reinstall your filler cap. Now we'll go ahead and tighten down our filter housing. And again, if you have a torque wrench, that's where you'll torque to your manufacturer's spec. So the actual process of changing the oil is finished, but we've got 2 more things we need to do before we're done with this job. First thing we need to do is we need to start the car and let it run for a few minutes, let everything lubricate with the new oil, and then we'll check for any leaks at the filter housing, the filler cap, or down at the drain pan under the vehicle. Let's get her started.
A few moments later.
Okay, the engine is running for a couple of minutes now. So we've got no leakage here at our filter housing. We're all good here at our filler cap. Let's check under the vehicle. And all is good at our drain plug. So we just finished an oil change on the 2017 Jeep Wrangler. Now we need to reset this oil life that says 6% remaining back to 100%. There's no intuitive way to do this with any buttons or resets or anything that you may see on other vehicles. But these steps are pretty easy, and once you got them down, you won't forget them. So all we need to do is put the key in the ignition, turn it to accessory mode, but don't turn the ignition on. And you're just gonna wait for all the chiming to stop, all the lights to go off. You'll press your gas pedal in 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Oil life remaining, 100%. All right, guys, that does it for another project. That's it for the oil change on the 2017 Jeep Wrangler. Hopefully this video gave you the confidence to attack this job by yourself in your own driveway with your own tools. One last note is always dispose of your used oil responsibly. Take it to a service center or to an auto parts store. What I do is just pour the used oil into the now empty containers that the new oil came in, return it to those guys, and they'll dispose of it for you. So thanks for checking out the video. Make sure you check out the other videos on the channel. Like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.